Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, my dear students. Today, inshallah, we will explain the text, which is the causative form. The causative form. When we say the causative form, as here, the title of this lesson, which is the grammar, then we are dealing with causative form. My dear students, when I say causative form, that means the causative form is used when we do not do something ourselves, but we arrange for somebody else to do it for us. So we don't do this by ourselves, but we have something or someone else to do this for us. Say, I cut my hair. I cut my hair. That means I hold the pair of scissors, then I do the cut myself. But this is wrong, because when you cut your hair, we have like person, a barber, then who does this thing for you. That means we shouldn't say I cut my hair. We have to say, we have to add someone, the one who have your hair cut. So it is correct to say that I have my hair cut instead of saying I cut my hair. معنى حدثان قام بالأمر وليس أنا. إذن the causative form is used when we don't do something ourselves, but we arrange for somebody else to do it for us. This is the grammar in general. This is the rule in general. We painted the house last month. We painted the house last month. That means we ourselves did it. We did it ourselves. We did it ourselves. We painted the house last month. But it is different if I say we had the house painted. We had the house painted. That means we asked someone else to paint the house. As I say here, we had or we got, both are correct if I say had or got. We had the house painted last month, which means a painter did it, not ourselves, but a painter, someone else. His work is a painter. He paints the houses. He paints the houses. Now let's go to the form or to the structure of this rule. When we say we should have every sentence should start with the subject. Every sentence should start with the subject. In Arabic it means al-fa'il, or the doer of the action. Then we have or get. Have or get. So, if I want to form the causative sentence, I have to start with the subject. Thank you. Then I have, as a rule, I have the word have or get. So, subject plus have or get plus object, and at the end of my sentence, I should have the past participle. If I ask you, what is the past participle form of the word write? Of the word write. The past participle form of the word write is, or of the verb write, is written. Verb 3. هو التصريف الثالث. Right? So, subject, get or have, plus the object, and then we need to use the word or the third form of the verb or the past participle. For example, if I have the word go, then the past participle is gone. The word fix or the verb fix, the past participle is fixed. The word write, the past participle is written. Thank you. Now in the present simple, and every rule changes its position according to the tense, So if I have the present simple or the simple present, then I would say I have my car fixed. I have my car fixed because I didn't do the action myself. I asked someone, the mechanic, to do it to me. So I have my car fixed. I didn't do it myself. I didn't fix the car, but I asked the mechanic to do it for me. So the sentence becomes, I have my car fixed. I have my car fixed. If I go to the present progressive here, present progressive. When I say present progressive, that means present continuous. Present continuous. As a revision of a present continuous, I would say, I am reading, I am writing, I am eating. These are all examples of present continuous. طيب. In the present continuous, if I want to use the causative students, I should say, I am having my car fixed. I am having my car fixed. Compare it with this. I here is what? Is the subject. I here is the subject. Right? I here is the subject. Then, what else do we have here? I is the subject. Have, should have, or get, as I said earlier. Then we have the object. Where's the object? Excellent. هو the car. The car. I have my car fixed. Present progressive. I am having my car fixed. I am having my car fixed. If I use the past simple or the simple past, I had my car fixed. I had my car fixed. Because this is what? This is past simple. Another example goes for future, for example. Future. Right? Talk about future. We're dealing with future. Right? And future. That I will have. Right? Will have. How often do you have your hair cut? How often do you have your hair cut? The sentence becomes like that. The sentence becomes like that. How often do you have your hair cut? Okay? If I have to cut my hair, this hair becomes cut. Okay? We shouldn't say, how often do you cut your hair, students? But we should say, لازم إنه we use the causative here to say, how often do you have your hair cut? Because you didn't do the action yourself. You asked a barber, the person who holds his scissors and starts cutting your hair because you didn't do the action yourself. Okay? And this is the equivalent translation in Arabic. She didn't, or Sue, this is a girl, Sue didn't have her hair cut yesterday. Sue didn't have her hair cut yesterday. Okay, here in this example, I don't know the doer of the action, but I know that the action of the cutting of the hair is done by, not by Sue, but by someone else. شخص مختلف هو اللي قام بعملية cutting of hair. Here, when do I use get? When do I use get, students? Thank you. So the rule says in informal language we can use get instead of have. Instead of have, we should have what? Get. Then هنا get comes in informal language. Informal language. In Arabic, informal language. Yes, it's not formal language, but we have like informal language. And instead of saying I must have the TV set repaired. I must have the TV set repaired. I should say what? I must get. إذن هنا because what? Because this is informal language. It's not formal language. Something as you speak to yourself, to your friend, to your colleague, you should say get instead of have. I must get the TV set repaired, which means in Arabic, yes, you can read it by yourself. Another use of causative verb. Another use of causative verb. If we want to mention who performs the action, we can add by the agent, by the subject, by the doer of the action. If we want, this is optional. You don't have to do it, but this is like optional. Yeah? He always has his roof repaired by a handy man. He always has his roof repaired by a handy man. Okay? Here I mentioned the agent. I mentioned the subject. مين السبجect هون؟ اللي هو what? الفاعل. Right? When do I mention the subject? I mention the subject where at the end of the sentence I use by as if I am dealing with passive voice. زي الpassive, but it's different. He always has his roof repaired by a handy man. Let's revise what we have just said. When we say causative, like causative form, then we don't want to say that we mentioned or we did the action ourselves. إنه في حدا ثاني قام بالفعل instead of ourselves. يعني the causative form is used when we don't do something ourselves. يعني if you go to the barber, هذا الحلاق, you don't cut your hair by yourself, but you ask the barber to do it for yourself. And how to say it in English? I would say I have my hair cut instead of saying I cut my hair. I cut my hair is wrong. I should say I have my hair cut. The same goes for this example. If you want to paint your house, بتجيب هذا الرول or you start painting your house, right? If you do the action yourself, you would say, we painted the house ourselves. We painted the house ourselves. That means, إنه we ourselves did the paint, right? But if you ask someone else to do the painting, اللي هو اللي يدهن واحد ثاني يجي يدهن, okay? We say, we had the house painted. We had the house painted. إذن كيف الرول بتصير؟ الرول or the structure, the form of this sentence لازم يكون عندي subject like I, he, she, it, they, etc. etc. كمان it's a must to have a word like have or get followed by or plus object. هاي have و get هاي بالقاعدة موجودة. كل جملة causative verb should have like I have, I get, I had. طبعا من صيغتهم had and has. Subject plus have or get if the subject is a plural, جمع, plus object plus past participle. If I ask you what's the past participle of write, you would say written. Thank you. I would read also one more example here. I have had my car fixed. I have had my car fixed. Car, if you know how to drive a car, then it's better to know how to fix the car. But you are not asked to fix the car. انت مش مطلوب منك انك تصلح السيارة. So you ask someone else to do this for you. Then you would say, I have had my car fixed. Okay? Thank you, students, for listening and enjoy your day.